This is News 3 Now at 10.
An FDA advisory panel of doctors and scientists recommended a second COVID-19 vaccine today, this one made by Moderna.
If approved, the company could then begin shipping millions of doses to healthcare workers and nursing home residents. Combined with Pfizer's vaccine, 50 million Americans could be vaccinated by the end of January. With the panel's blessing this afternoon, the FDA is expected to quickly give it the green light for emergency use.
The vaccine efficacy rate for symptomatic COVID-19 infection was 94.1%. We also observed a dramatic reduction in severe cases.
Now, there are differences between the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. Pfizer's must be stored at a lower temperature, while Moderna's has a much longer shelf life at regular refrigeration. The full FDA approval could come as soon as tomorrow.
While health officials call the vaccines one tool to end the pandemic, there's another one coming that can go in the hands of everyone in Wisconsin. Madeline O'Neill tells us how a mobile app can help track the spread of COVID-19.
Well, next week, if you want, you can download an app on your smartphone that will let you know if you've been in close contact with someone who tests positive for COVID. It's free and anonymous, but how effective it is really in our own hands.
We are battling against coronavirus.
We can't see the virus, but most of us have a weapon that can help sense it.
It's not a panacea of any kind, but it is yet another tool.
Using Bluetooth, the Wisconsin Exposure Notification app will alert you if anyone you were near who also uses the app tests positive for coronavirus once they enter a code into the app.
The app is free and it's anonymous so that your privacy is protected even as you help us in stopping the spread.
The app doesn't collect location data.
There are games on your phone that actually collect a lot more personal data than this will be doing.
UW-Madison experts who work on modeling COVID-19 spread say such apps can cut down on some of the lag and unknowns that come with manual contact tracing.
So this app actually makes the contact tracing a more effective, efficient tool.
Especially when in the hands of the younger crowd, ages of about 15 to 45, which Professor Auguste Allegos says have been more likely to download similar apps in other places and more likely to transmit the virus here.
Because if the younger people are the ones who download and they start paying more attention, that's a big win for us.
Key thing is whether or not people will adopt it.
Associate Professor Ajay Sethi says up to 50% of people should be using the app for us to get the most out of this tool.
Sometimes adoption is not overnight when it comes to apps. They go viral just like the virus, and we'll see how it goes.
It's hard to say just how effective this app has been elsewhere because it's not collecting that personal data that would help answer that question. But generally, the more people who use the app, the more effective it will be. We have more information on how you can download the app on our website.
The United States has now reached 17 million COVID-19 cases, and nearly 308,000 people have died from this virus. That is according to data compiled by Johns Hopkins University. According to the data, it took the U.S. 278 days to reach 8.5 million COVID-19 cases, but it only took 54 days to double that number. In Wisconsin, state health officials say 51 more people died over the last 24 hours. There were also 3,300 new cases during that time, as well as 129 new hospitalizations. But we are seeing improvements. According to DHS, the majority of Wisconsin's counties are at very high activity levels for disease spread. 17 counties remain at critically high levels.
For the first time in 2 months, contact tracers in Dane County feel they are finally able to catch up a bit. Dane County's health department moving out of its crisis model for handling those contacts. This follows a steady decline in new cases. 7-day averages for coronavirus have dropped from 250 new cases last week to 178 this week. Hospitalizations in Dane County are also falling, but health experts are reminding everyone while things are trending finally in the right direction, we are not out of the woods yet. It has become a common question now. If you already had COVID-19, do you still need the vaccine? Today, we spoke with Dr. Jeff Pothoff with UW Health, who says the simple answer is yes. He says the vaccine may provide better long-term immunity. Even if you have COVID antibodies from testing positive, you should still get your shots.
They basically use a genetic recipe that tells your own cells how to make the spike protein only of coronavirus so that your immune system can react to it and give you protection.
Hospitals around the country and here in Madison have also been making a surprising discovery as they dole out the first doses of Pfizer's vaccine. While the vials are supposed to hold 5 doses in total, pharmacists say they have discovered more, up to as much as 7.
Well, let's get a look at our first warn forecast now. Here is Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Well, Charlotte, it's been a very quiet evening here in the backyard. Temperatures have been in the 20s, and we're not seeing much in the way of any kind of cloud cover, at least overhead. Now, if we take a look at the time lapse from the WISC Skycam starting early this morning, you can see we had clouds for much of the day, but every once in a while there'd be a little sunshine that kind of works its way through. As we headed into the overnight hours, we've seen a few more breaks in the clouds, but no precipitation across much of the upper Midwest, including Wisconsin. High temperatures today in the lower 30s. Janesville topped out at 34 degrees, Madison 31, about the same as yesterday. Current temperatures are already in the upper teens here in Madison and around 22 our east, but again, that's because skies become partly cloudy. We might see a little more cloud cover later on tonight, and temperatures will probably flatten out somewhere in the middle teens. I'm thinking about 16 here in Madison by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be variably cloudy, it'll be breezy, and perhaps not quite as cold with a high temperature of 36. Now, we could see some flurries, freezing drizzle or drizzle from tomorrow night into Saturday, but otherwise we'll look for quiet weather up until just before Christmas, when we'll see some light snow. I'll tell you how much we can expect in just a few minutes.
About 250 additional fans will be allowed into this weekend's Green Bay Packers game against the Carolina Panthers. The team is extending an invitation to its healthcare and public safety partners. The invitation is a thank you and a show of appreciation for these frontline workers during the pandemic. The organization anticipates between 700 and 800 fans will be in the stands for the Saturday night game. Giannis Antetokounmpo has appeared in a government ad in his native Greece. It is being released ahead of Christmas to urge people to observe public safety measures during the pandemic. The Milwaukee Bucks star speaks in the minute-long spot, saying all victories start with defense.
French President Emmanuel Macron has tested positive for coronavirus. According to the Palais de l'Élysée, Macron was tested after feeling symptoms of COVID-19. He'll now self-isolate for 7 days and will continue to work and carry out his activities remotely. French Prime Minister Jean Castex is also in quarantine after being in contact with President Macron. Wisconsin's DHS Secretary is considering ordering capacity restrictions on businesses again, but the state Supreme Court is weighing whether she has that power. The Tavern League wants the court to apply the same logic it used in tossing the Safer at Home order in May, but liberal justices thought there may be room in that decision to allow for indoor gathering restrictions. Justice Brian Hagedorn, who sided against the majority in the Safer at Home ruling, suggested it would serve as a precedent in this case.
We have a decision of this court that directly addresses the same fact scenario, and we to turn on that now would be to undercut many of the principles that we've laid out in the way we conduct ourselves as an institution.
Secretary-designate Andrea Palm says she wants to see what the law will allow before issuing another order. There's no timeline on when we will see a ruling.
The Waupun man, whose body was recovered from a grain silo at Didion Milling, has been identified as 52-year-old Randall Rote. He was found dead December 8th. Rote was a Madison native and graduated from Monona Grove High School and UW Platteville. OSHA is still investigating the incident. A $2.2 million cash bond has been set for a former Badger football player charged with killing 2 women in Janesville earlier this year. Marcus Randall L. was charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and a felony charge for being a felon in possession of a firearm. The victims, Brittany McAdory and Sierra Winchester, were found with gunshot wounds near a truck stop off Highway 14 and later died at the hospital. Randall L. was ordered not to have any contact with their families.
19 attorneys general across the U.S., including Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul, are looking to change the federal government's stance on ghost guns. That's when individual parts of a firearm are sold that can then be assembled into a fully operational gun. The gunman who opened fire on employees at Paradigm in Middleton back in 2018 used a ghost gun. Kaul says some people are building ghost guns as a way to get around regulations, making the gun harder for tracing.
This is a way that individuals can try to get around laws that would, in many cases, require background checks to be conducted. So somebody who's not permitted to own a firearm in Wisconsin, for example, may be able to purchase a part and get around the background check laws.
The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives adopted a position in 2015 saying it would not apply federal law to ghost guns. Call says the AGs hope the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York accepts their position and blocks the ATF's interpretation.
Still to come tonight, an update on the forecast as we inch closer to the weekend. Plus, with two deadlines looming, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are continuing to iron out a stimulus deal and a plan to fund the government. Stay with us.
Looking for a sofa? Looking for a chair? You haven't shopped furniture in Madison until you've shopped Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous new showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
When you put money in a big bank, there it goes. But when you keep your money at Associated Bank, it gets invested close to home. It might become this family's renovation or help this little one's college fund. It could build local business or your favorite neighborhood spot. Because when you bank with Associated Bank, your money works in your community. All you have to do is make a simple choice. Send your money there or keep it here. Associated Bank. Your money works here.
My wife had a tough week at work and she needed a break. I stopped by Quick Trip and they say, I want to surprise my wife with a special dinner. And the Quick Trip lady was like, our take-home meals are freshly made and absolutely delicious. I recommend the fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. And I'm like, sign me up. Upon arriving home, my wife says, wow, what's the occasion? And I'm like, just you. And she's like, looks like someone's getting dessert. Bless you, Quick Trip.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
At Papa Murphy's, we make fresh pizza that you bake at home. Because home is where the cozy is. Home is where the fun is. Home is where the together is. And home is where the yum is. Because when you taste a fresh-made, home-baked pizza, you won't want to be anywhere else. Right now, get the chicken garlic pizza with chicken, herbs and cheese, and creamy garlic sauce for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Come on. Let's go.
Come on. Let's go in.
Toyotathon is on. 'Tis the season for great year-end deals.
Right now, during Toyotathon, you can get $750 customer cash on a stylish new 2021 Camry. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Don't miss out. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Looking for a sofa? Looking for a chair? You haven't shopped furniture in Madison until you've shopped Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous new showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Hey folks, Friday morning, some of your favorite restaurants have no way forward unless they get your help. We'll continue our conversations with local chefs about what they need and how you can help. Join us from 4:30 to 7 on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Wisconsin's unemployment rate continues to drop. The Department of Workforce Development reported its latest numbers today. The state's rate down to 5%. That is still up compared to the 3.5% figure at this time a year ago. Wisconsin lost 1,000 jobs in the private sector last month alone and is down more than 177,000 for the year. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill say they are getting closer to a much-needed COVID relief package. They're currently faced with two urgent tasks: fund the government past midnight tomorrow and extend COVID-19 relief set to expire by year's end. The number of those in need of help is rising. The Labor Department said 885,000 Americans filed for unemployment for the first time just last week.
We're still down 10 million jobs from where we were in February pre-pandemic. And half of those jobs are people who say that they have permanently lost their. That's a lot of pain, financial pain and suffering.
Both parties seem to recognize the urgency now, but the sticking points are the same as they've been for months. A $900 billion package under discussion could include an extension of enhanced unemployment benefits, money for small businesses, and another round of direct payments to Americans. But some Republicans say the bill's price tag is too high, and progressive Democrats want larger stimulus checks.
Coca-Cola says it is cutting 2,200 jobs amid declining sales. That includes about 12% of its U.S. workforce. Coke's revenues declined about 9% in the third quarter. It's hurting due to permanent or temporary restaurant closures and a resulting loss in soda sales. Over the summer, Coca-Cola said it was offering buyouts to about 4,000 workers in the U.S. and Canada. Mortgage rates dropped to another record low last week for the 15th time this year. Mortgage giant Freddie Mac says the average interest rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage dropped to 2.67%. That is the lowest level in the history of the survey, which goes back nearly a half a century. It comes a day after the Federal Reserve said it would hold interest rates near zero.
Another sign of the times. Royal Caribbean has sold 2 of its cruise ships. According to the cruise line, they sold the Empress of the Seas and the Majesty of the Seas to an undisclosed party based in Asia Pacific. The company said the ships have been in service for more than 30 years. It comes amid trying times for the entire cruise industry. The CDC has upped its warning on cruise ships, now advising that all people avoid traveling on them. Honda says it's recalling 1.4 million vehicles for a few problems. A drive shaft can break in some, and there's a software flaw, and window switches can overheat in others. The recall covers Honda Civic hybrids from 2012 and 2007 through 2014 Honda Fits and certain Acura ILX models, as well as some Accords and Insights. Demolition set to begin on the Boston store at Westtown Mall in Madison. That's to make way for the new Von Maur department store. According to the mall's owner, CBL Properties, site work will begin later this month. Von Maur will be built from the ground up, creating a new 85,000 square foot store expected to open in the fall of 2022. There's one other Von Maur store in Wisconsin that's located in Brookfield.
New tonight, Dane County is expanding Walking Iron County Park and wildlife area with a new land purchase. County Executive Joe Parisi says the county is acquiring about 174 acres of property in the town of Mazomanie to help with the expansion. He says the county parks have seen a 25% increase in visits over the past 7 months, and this new purchase will allow for more outdoor recreational opportunities. Well, cleanup could take days after a massive snowstorm hit parts of the Northeast. As the winter storm swept through, treacherous road conditions led to at least 5 deaths. In New York, police responded to more than 600 accidents. This deadly pileup in central Pennsylvania yesterday involved more than 60 vehicles. The Spirit Airlines flight slid off the runway in Maryland. The National Weather Service in Binghamton, New York, received 42 inches of snow.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us now. He'll break down where that snow fell, especially across New York. Gary, what a mess.
Yeah, it was very obvious from north central Pennsylvania through central New York and then eventually up into New Hampshire and Vermont. Any of these areas here received over 2 feet of snow. In Binghamton, like I said, the National Weather Service office just to the west of downtown Binghamton reported 42 inches of snow. A lot of reports in the 3-foot to 40-inch range through much of that area. But around here, just ho-hum kind of going on like it's been the last few days. Tomorrow should be breezy, not quite as cold. High temperatures probably topping out in the middle 30s as a result. See some flurries tomorrow night. Also the possibility for some freezing drizzle or drizzle, especially tomorrow night into Saturday morning, but it's still a slight chance. I'm not expecting any big travel problems. Still have light snow in the forecast for Tuesday night and Wednesday before Christmas. Now, Doppler track right now free of precipitation across the upper Midwest, but there's a gap in the snow cover across central Wisconsin. This may fill in as we head to the days just before Christmas. One of the computer forecast models, Future Track, the European computer model, takes a low pressure system into Iowa and then brings it into central Wisconsin pretty rapidly and then heads to the northeast. But notice how the heavier snow lingers in parts of northeastern Wisconsin. Then that low kind of reforms off to the east as part of a bigger storm system. But by Christmas Eve, skies will actually be clearing. Snowfall amounts from that computer model show perhaps a foot of snow up in northern Wisconsin, maybe a foot and a half in the UP of Michigan. Notice southern Wisconsin, just an inch or less from most of the areas, maybe north of Madison, a couple of inches. The USGFS computer model on Future Track takes the low through Iowa into central Wisconsin, but then heads it more through the UP of Michigan and up into Canada. It lingers the snow a little bit longer into Wisconsin, but still the heaviest snow will occur north of that track of the low, which should stay north of Madison. That shows, again, close to a foot of snow over far northern Wisconsin, maybe as much as 2 feet in some of these spots from lake effect snows near Lake Superior. But again, southern Wisconsin, couple of inches, maybe 3 or 4 north of the Dells. So either way, I think our snowfall will be relatively light, heavier snow as you go northward. On weather track right now, upper level winds are from the northwest. That's kind of drying out the air a little bit, but notice those winds becoming southwesterly out to the west of us. That'll start bringing in more cloud cover later on tomorrow. As we look at a close-up of the Midwest, you can kind of tell where the skies have cleared out. Temperatures are in the teens there, but notice out to the west as those clouds start moving in, they're back into the 20s. So we'll probably drop a couple more degrees and then actually see temperatures hold nearly steady overnight. On future track, notice how the clouds start filling in by early tomorrow morning. We're back to variably cloudy skies tomorrow. Southerly winds will keep temperatures in the mid-30s for tomorrow, and then as that passing weather system comes through, maybe a few flurries, a little bit of freezing drizzle or drizzle, and then by Saturday evening, skies start to clear out again. Our forecast for tomorrow calls for variably cloudy skies, breezy, not quite as cold, high temperature topping out at 36 degrees, and the 7 to 10 day forecast calls for temperatures to be in the mid-30s this weekend. Flurry, freezing drizzle or drizzle chance from Friday night into Saturday. Sunday will be dry, maybe a flurry Sunday night, and then that light snow chance from Tuesday night into Wednesday. By the time we get to Christmas Eve, just a few flurries. Notice the low temperature between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, 4 degrees. High temperatures only around 20, and it looks like the weather will stay relatively calm through the following weekend as well, but temperatures will be seasonably cold.
Yeah, until that Christmas Eve. It's going to be chilly for Santa when he arrives. Southern Wisconsin. Gary, thank you. And still to come at 10, we're getting in the holiday spirit. Santa with a little pit stop today at the Children's Hospital. We'll show it to you. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Dear Grandma, this year's gonna be a special holiday. It will be different being so far away, but Mom says it will be better to be safe. So I'm sending your present in the mail. Stay safe, Grandma. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Let's get to it, America. Because joy doesn't just happen. You make it happen. And during the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're helping you make even more joy. Come get the best deals of the season with offers on select Ford SUVs and Ford Fusion. Everything you need to make the holidays brighter than ever. That's how we're making joy this season. How will you? Get Escape with 0 for 66 financing plus $1,500 cash and $2,000 trade assist during the final days of the Built for the Holidays sales event.
Your business is your pride and joy. You raised it with hard work, from nothing but a dream. And since you care so much, naturally you want to protect it from harm. That's where we come in. Because a great insurance policy is not a necessary evil. It's the best way to keep your business happy, healthy, and profitable. And that is the silver lining. Pamper your business with a policy from West Bend.
Introducing the best gift idea ever. Give a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership. They'll get fuel savings every time they shop. Plus, our Redline premium service hotline. Plus, free online delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. Plus, exclusive offers every month like a free bouquet. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus really does equal more. Make someone's Christmas with a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership today.
Keeping yourself and your family safe from germs and bacteria is made easy with Cetus ultraviolet technology for sterilization. Through time-tested ultraviolet irradiation, killing 99% of dangerous microbes is simple and effortless. UV light technology is faster and more reliable than water-based disinfectants. Now easier than ever to live germ-free. Visit www.cetusonline.com. That is CETUSonline.com.
Imagine life in that, or that. Having zero stress. Wasting zero energy worrying. 0 days wanting less seats, more seats, and 0 regrets. Imagine that. 0 reasons not to get into a Volkswagen, especially now that you can start shopping from home. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign and Drive event and list the 2021 Atlas V6 ST Tech 4 Motion today. 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month payment, and 0 due at signing.
Dear Grandma, this year's gonna be a special holiday. It will be different being so far away, but Mom says it will be better to be safe. So I'm sending your present in the mail. Stay safe, Grandma. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Even animals deserve a Merry Christmas. So this week, Santa Claus and one of his helpers brought presents a little early this year. They dropped off sacks full of treats and blankets to the furry friends at the Riverside County Department of Animal Services in California. They also dropped off gifts for the employees. There was a delightful superhero surprise at the University of Texas Cancer Center in Houston this morning. Superheroes, including Superman and Batman, rappelled off the hospital outside the pediatric patient rooms. Those patients in the hospital were also visited by Santa, an elf, and a reindeer, complete with a sleigh. The MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston is the largest cancer center in the U.S.
And in Madison, Santa Claus is taking some extra COVID-19 precautions this year, but today, coming all the way from the North Pole, he found a way to visit kids at American Family Children's Hospital. Photojournalist Lance Height shows us how he got creative to spread some joy.
We just want to show the children and their families that we're thinking about them, and they're in our prayers and our thoughts. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do 2 laps around the hospital. I'm going to be in the bucket on one of the ladder trucks. Hopefully a lot of children can view the parade and myself. And then when we're all done, I have to get back to the North Pole because we have a lot of work to do before Christmas Eve.
I've been volunteering for, this would have been 33 years coming to the Children's Hospital because of COVID. The restrictions are just too tight. I was just very happy to hear from Santa that, you know, we would have this fire truck parade, and at least the mobile children could go to the window and see the parade. Bittersweet, but it is what it is, sure.
You have to be in bed on Christmas Eve. That way we can social distance properly when I do come down the chimney, and I'll drop off the presents and I'll be on my way to the next house. We're just honored to be able to do this year. At least we're here letting the children and their families know that we're thinking about them.
It's the best we can do under the circumstances, but I wouldn't have missed it for anything.
Our thanks to photojournalist Lance Height, and we'll be right back.
Keep your holidays in sync with free pickup on all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Millions of customers are leaving their providers and switching to Spectrum. And if you have satellite, it's not hard to see why. Because unlike satellite, Spectrum gives you all the services you need, like internet and TV from one provider.
They do?
Yeah, they do. And Spectrum has the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds at 200 megabits for $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. Spectrum wins on TV, too. Unlike satellite, Spectrum doesn't have an ugly dish to install. And you get exclusive premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
Wow, really?
Really. Plus, Spectrum has more free HD and free on demand. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. And unlike satellite providers, Spectrum doesn't have contracts or early termination fees. We'll even buy out your current contract up to $500. Switch to America's fastest growing internet, TV, and voice provider. Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each. Ask about our easy self-install options. Call 833-909-4499.
There's always a way to make joy America, so it's time to get to it. And with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're here to help. We're giving you the best deals of the season on the adventure-ready Ford Ranger and the Built Ford Tough Ford F-150 to help you make some extra joy this year. Because this season will be as bright as ever. Ford, built for the holidays. Get F-150 with $95.22 in total savings, plus 1,000 trade assists during the final days of the Built for the Holidays sales event.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know it needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Do you take daily prescription pain medications, but they don't help enough? Do you want more options to better manage chronic pain? University of Wisconsin-Madison STAMP Study offers free, safe, therapeutic programs to address chronic pain. The programs occur once a week for 8 weeks and pays up to $340. Call 608-212-6902 today. Again, that's 608-212-6902.
This holiday season, use the Pick and Save app to get personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. So you can save big on exactly what you want, no matter who you are. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Before you make plans, download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, a congressman from South Carolina finished his term with a bang today. Representative Joe Cunningham cracked open a beer on the House floor to salute his colleagues as he gave a goodbye speech. Well, we don't get to hear the speech, but he does. Watch this. He pulls out a cold beer and toast his colleagues. But he couldn't actually drink it because of House Speaker Pelosi's new floor rules where members have to keep their masks on at all times. It was kind of a cool story. Cunningham said his grandfather told him he can get through any problem with someone by just sitting down having a cold beer with them. The Democrat, however, lost his re-election bid back in November. Gary Canalti joining us now, and I don't know about too many cold beers right now, Gary. Maybe some hot chocolate when we get to Christmas Eve.
That would probably feel a little bit better. Temperatures right now are in the upper teens through much of southern Wisconsin. But these temperatures probably only falling a couple more degrees. Look for a low of about 16. High tomorrow 36 with more clouds moving in. Then look for some flurry or freezing drizzle chances over the weekend. Some light snow Tuesday and Wednesday. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day will be cold.
Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, be well, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.